Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to APPF1. It is season 19, our first season of 2026, and tonight we are we're in Qatar at the Losail circuit. Probably not the most entertaining race to watch in real life, but on the game, it's a different kettle of fish. Hello to Sumo in the chat. Hello, Bacon Bear. Welcome to the new year. Absolutely. New year, new me. You'll all be delighted to hear. Right, so the first cars are making their way out on track. Hello, Hugo. Welcome, everybody, to the chat. Oh, hello, Denko. Sorry, I didn't see you there, mate. Hello, Denko, my beloved teammate for Tier 2. Hello, Adam. New year, worse me, says Hugo. That'll probably be me come at this time tomorrow. So Nemo. I think Nemo is new to the league. So Nemo in the Golf livery Williams as a yes. So how do you want to be called? Shall I just call you Legend? Yeah, I'll just call you Legend. Sumo chatting a massive amount of garbage in my chat already. I'm gonna have to block him from my YouTube account. He's not a very nice man. Oh no, I'm not pronouncing Zeds. I'm not 12 years old, mate. You will just be Legend, I'm afraid. So we'll ride on board with Nemo. He is our first driver across the line in 2026. So if he does not invalidate, we will ride aboard with him for this lap around Qatar. Turn 1, you want to stay on the inside, run the car wide and opens up turn 2. Turn 3, blink and you miss it. Then you want to keep the car as far left as towards turn 4 and 5. Very easy to invalidate on these two corners here, and that is sector 1 done. Turn 6, this hairpin corner here, you want to pick your braking point just right. You don't want to touch that curb on the inside, you'll lose a lot of time there. Opens the track up nicely, roughly just after the 50-meter board. Pick your braking point, turn the car in for this little S section here in sector 2. Run the car here as far right as possible as you can to clip the inside curb there, which is very nicely done by Nemo. Now he's using a bit of ERS over the sector 2 line, running the car as wide as he can as well to keep up as much speed possible through these long swooping right-handers. These will fall foul to a lot of time penalties tonight, and also invalidations in qualifying. Hello, Daka, in the chat. Season 19 is officially here, says Kevin. Yes, we are here. As Nemo comes up to the line with a 1 minute 23.5, Josh the guy immediately blows that away. I'm going to say Lewis in the Mercedes is a pole, and by some distance as well. I've done some practice with Joe as he's coming up to the line. Joe could be quite handy if he can get across the line here. It's a 1 minute 22.4. The two Red Bulls in their stunning white Japanese livery, looking very beautiful under the lights. Reigning two-time Tier 3 champion, LB Racing is back in the Ferrari as he is coming up to the line. Sumo questioning the times in the chat. Don't question me. As LB comes up to the line, a 1:44. He must have had a moment somewhere and backed out. Maybe he's going again. But shall we stick on board with LB Racing? He is the champion after all. He might not qualify so well, but he does get himself amongst the pigeons come the race, and you will almost certainly find himself in the mix come the end of this Grand Prix. As YouTube chat is going crazy about the pole position time at the moment. So LB is still on a lap, and he hasn't invalidated, and he hasn't had a moment so far. So he's currently 20 seconds up on his time, so it's not going to be a fantastic lap, even if he does improve. It's still going to be around the 1 minute 24s potentially. Or even so, he's just going to find himself hovering around Robsu and MS maybe at the very best here. So as he comes up to the line, no, he's up to 5th. Found a lot of time in that last sector. Maybe he slowed the car down to bank some ERS, but no, it's a nice lap from LB Racing at 1 minute 22.7. It slots him into 5th position. We have Drogon on track, who is currently on the lap. Drogon showed flashes of good qualifying pace last season, but not very often. He replicated that qualifying pace into race pace. So it's a new season, a new year for Denko. It's Denko, sorry Denko, for Drogon. I do apologise. Denko and Sumo exchanging words in the YouTube chat over at Tier 2 as Denko is, I'm sure he's going to whitewash Sumo now he's got his racing line back. So Drogon coming up to the penultimate corner now. Here he comes. Just one more corner to go. That Sauber glued nicely to the track, and I've got a funny feeling this is going to be a good time for Drogon, and it is a good time. It's a 1 minute 21.9, just a 10th off pole position. As there are a few cars making their way out of the pits, and first one is Josh Tagai. Joey B is also out there. MS has returned this season as well. It's good to see MS back. We've also got Stanley, James Gardner, and now Legends on the track. So drivers I may have missed, I apologise. I've missed Runes in P5. Runes is going to be up there and in with a shout. He was on the championship charge last season, but perhaps got nerfed a bit too hard. I believe his nerf has been lifted to help him challenge again towards the front, and a promising first lap for him. Robsu has invalidated. MS is he on a lap, or is he just finished lap? I believe he's just started a lap as MS. A few positive results last season for MS, a bit wide into turn 3 there. But MS is capable of getting some very good results if he can keep it clean. And definitely around here, just staying within track limits is going to be essential. We'll keep an eye on Joey B. Joey B has sent me a screenshot of one of his qualifying times last night, and if all goes well, he'll be there or thereabouts. But he has turned his traction down to medium this season. Tier down in 10th as well. I believe he's just running no assists, is Tier, so he doesn't have racing line, I believe. I might be wrong, but I know he definitely doesn't have racing line on. That is all I can tell you. I believe it is actually detailed in the Tier 3 lineups who's got an assist or not. I'd imagine it's the same in Tier 2 for tomorrow as well. I did miss Joey B's Sector 2 time waffling on. Can't see if he's improving or not, so we'll ride on board. He's going to have a tiny bit of a slipstream from the Mercedes ahead. Okay, maybe I'll have a look in a minute, Kevin, for you. Joey B does improve to 1 minute 22.096. So, yes, it's very, very tight up the front. 2/10 between first, second, and third. And then there's a bit of a gap to Josh DeGuy, who's coming across the line now. He must be starting a lap, yes. Notice how his car is running as far left as possible. I believe it is slightly quicker on that red stuff on the left-hand side. I can't remember what track it is now. I think it's like going down like the back straight in Texas and whatnot. If you run on the paint, the surface, and Abu Dhabi and things like that, the surface is actually smoother, so the car actually picks up speed a lot quicker. I'll say a lot quicker, just fractionally quicker. But all the pros seem to do it. They're running front wings and rear wings, Sumo, if that helps you. As Sumo asked what wings people are running in the chat. And Lewis F1 goes faster. As he goes 1 minute 21.864, but not a huge amount faster. I am funny, aren't I, Sumo? I am funny, thank you. I am the funniest person you will ever come across in your life. So Josh the guy coming up to the line, up to fourth for Josh. He improves by 0.2. Runes coming into the pits. Who else is on a lap? We've got Ralphie, who also has returned to Tier 3 for this season. It's nice to see people returning to APPF1. It's nice to see the Tier 3. Well, this is our third season of Tier 3 now, so, Tier 3 regulars now, I'm happy to say, returning each season, making our Monday nights just a little bit more special. Ralphie's coming into the pits. Nemo. I don't think Nemo will be on the lap. No, he's invalidated. We have got Robsu on the lap. And also Drogon is on an out lap as well. So Drogon's slightly out of sync with the field, but he goes across the line to start his lap. I will do my best to remember that. Now, is Robsu on a lap? So Robsu up to the Tier 2 line. Robsu is improving, which is good to see. If he does improve, he could be slam dunk midfield, perhaps 7th, or if he does improve quite nicely, maybe even 6th. Not using that corner to the best of its advantage, shall I say. Just seemed to not ride the curb on the exit there, but he crosses the line in P7. It's a good lap by Robsu. Now, I know Drogon is on a lap as well, as he comes up to the Sector 2 line, and he is improving his Drogon, and improving he is, and improving, if he carries on at this rate, will be pole position. So, Drogon, coming up to the penultimate corner, will ride on board around the last corner. Looking very nice. Keep the car as straight as possible, far left again as possible as he can, up to the line, and Drogon actually smashes the field with that pole position time. Now, will he be consistent to potentially take the race win? Robson in P7. So the Sauber's having a good qualifying session, as are the 2 Mercedes and 2 Red Bulls. And Ferrari are also up in the top 10 as well. Drivers we haven't mentioned as far is Bacon Bear, always giving their best effort in Tier 3. And she is currently on an out lap, so it's nice to see her again in Tier 3, as has a bit of a tough time at the back, but persists and will get there. Improving. There is definitely signs of improvement. I'd say the Achilles heel is just track limits and maybe just finding that extra bit of pace. Just hopefully doesn't not doing that in qualifying. That she just stood there cutting that curb. Legends has invalidated. We've got Tier here. Here, Tier. Maybe he's I would say maybe he's just done a lap. I don't think so. I think he's having a go at this lap now. Just 2.5 minutes left of qualifying to go, as Tier is almost half a second faster in the first sector. So can he carry on this kind of improvement? It's looking very nice for Tier. An APP veteran is Tier, and having a dabble in Tier 3. Joined as a reserve last year, but this season he's signed up. So it's nice to have another Tier 3 regular on board. No, I think Tier... Is he backed out? Yes, he has invalidated. Bacon Bear has invalidated. So a driver who is has gone under my radar is Lewis in the Mercedes. It's got a lot to do to try and topple Drogon's time here. Joey B on an outlap. We've also got James Gardner on an outlap. Not an outlap. I believe he might actually be on a lap, James Gardner. It's 1 minute 22.3 for James Gardner. Yeah, he won't have time to improve, so that is James Gardner's time done. Runes crosses the line. I will do my best to keep up with all the qualifying times, but my YouTube chat is just consistently popping up over the map on my screen at the moment. You guys cannot see it on the stream, but unfortunately my map is completely blocked out at the moment. Let's see if I can work out who is where. So Lewis does set a purple first sector. Joey B also towards the end of his lap as well. Rob's who came around the last corner. So Joey B will keep an eye on. This will be his last run, as he is going to be out of ERS in a moment. Joey B crosses the line, does improve, but not enough to gain a position, as we have got Runes coming around the last corner now. So Runes coming up to the line. Does Runes? No, he slowed right down, did Runes. As now we have got Josh the Guy coming up to the line as well. Does he improve? He does. He jumps ahead of his teammate Joey B. A very good lap there. Lewis across the line. He does improve, but not enough to take on Drogon. LB Racing in the Ferrari. Will he improve? Our two-time Tier 3 champ is currently down in P10. And he will want to be further up the grid, as already it's looking fairly competitive and spicy in Tier 3. Lufis. Oh. I've never... Okay, Lufis. Okay, Lufis. I've never heard the name Lufis. I am sorry for any offence caused with my name pronunciations. Tier will not be improving, so unless anybody has got a grid demotion in qualifying, I believe that is our grid on the left-hand side there, which I'll quickly run through in a moment. Right, so here we go. Drogon takes our first pole of the season with a 1 minute 21.573. Second is Lufus. Third is Josh the Guy. Fourth is Joey B. Fifth is Runes. Sixth is Stanley. Seventh is James Gardner. Eighth is LB Racing. Ninth is Robstu. 10th is Nemo. 11th is Ralphie. 12th is Tier. 13th is MS. 14th is Legend. And 15th is Bacon Bear. I can't remember how tyre wear is around Qatar. I imagine it's quite brutal. So I can envisage a 2-stop race here. Before everyone jumps up in the chat saying, no, this is a 1-stop race. But no. The 1-stop is doable here, but I'm not an alien like you, Daka. I won't be able to. It's a 1-stop. Okay, maybe it is a 1-stop. Well, Sumo says it's a 1-stop, so if Sumo says it's a 1-stop as well, then who am I to argue? If Sumo can do it in a 1-stop round here, then I guess anyone can. Hello, everybody watching live as well on YouTube. Please do sub to the channel, like the stream as well. Sorry if I am sounding like a beg, but yeah, let's crank up those numbers. Right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. APP in 2026 is officially underway, and that looked like a slow start for Drogon there potentially. No, maybe not. He's got a very good start over Lufus, and Joey B up to second as one of the Josh the Guy, wherever he may be, has had an awful start. I'm not too sure what's happened to Josh the Guy there. He was in third, and he's all the way down towards the back already. And Aston Martin running very wide there of MS at the back, as there is a tier around. Oh, I missed what happened there. Looks like he looks like he might be okay for damage. But Drogon leads the way. Let's quickly fire up the position changes before we look at the tyres. So yeah, pretty much most of the field have gained a position thanks to Josh the Guys and Tiers. Horrendous start to this APP season in Tier 3. Josh the Guy will not be happy being towards the back there. Tier also at the very back, but I think they may have avoided damage, but they do have to negotiate the midfield runners here. So James, Stanley and Runes, last season's nearly men, are well, maybe not so nearly for James Gardner. Sorry, for James Gardner. I don't know why I said James Stanley a minute ago. I do apologise. But James Gardner had some very strong performances towards the back end of last season. So if he can carry that on into the start of this season, then you can't rule him out of being in championship contention. Lap 2 of 29 has now begun as the front two are slowly already begins to turn the screw on the field behind. It is imperative that Joe tries to stay within DRS. If he falls out of DRS, then he might as well just wave goodbye to these two cars ahead, as Runes is currently in fourth. Then we've got James Gardner in fifth, Stanley in sixth, Robsu in seventh, LB Racing down in eighth, Ralphie in ninth, Nemo in 10th, MS in 11th, and MS actually getting Legends trying to make an overtake on MS. Not sure if he had oversteer or just decided to back out of it, but very brave it was indeed. Bacon Bear is in 13th, Josh the Guy, Antier and Legends is our first culprit of this year for track limits. So let's see what tyres everybody is running. I'm sure you eagle-eyed people will have looked at the tyres as I was just cycling through the field there. So Drogon, Joe and Runes, the top four on medium tyres, and James Gardner is running on the hard tyres, just 1.2 seconds behind Runes. Then we have got Stanley and Robsu in 6th and 7th on mediums. LB is on hard tyres. Ralphie and Nemo on the medium tyres. Then we've got MS and Legends on the hards. Josh on mediums. Bacon Barrel on hards. And Tia on the mediums. So already we have a few gaps slowly creeping into the field ahead, as Joe again desperately trying to hang on to the DRS of these front two runners, and it will be a duel in the desert between Drogon and Lufus. Is Lufus one of the IGP lot? If you're in the chat, Hugo or Denko, have you raced with him before in another league? So the gap, the top four have broken away nicely. Oh, is your karting teammate in real life, Lufus? Okay, that's nice. Kind of upset it's not me, Danko. I can't believe you haven't invited me go-karting yet. Yeah, just sat here shamefully crying to myself, attention seeking. Now, as Bacon Bear is the next driver to pick up a track limit penalty. In the background, Stanley moves up to P5 and Robsu is up to P6. Robsu up to his usual tricks. And yes, when I'm whenever I next end up in Greece, Danko, you will know about it. Yes, we've got to do it. Unfortunately, I'm probably too fat and slow to actually be competitive. I'll be an old man by the next time I come to Greece, and people already consider me old too. So mainly they're keeping an eye on. We do have a train for the top four here. So one of these drivers is going to be left empty-handed without a podium finish come the end of this race. Without a podium, as Joey B is following Lufus and Drogon, and Lufus is really on the back of Drogon now, as it would seem. Will he make a move into turn one? This is as close as he has ever been to Drogon throughout this race. Opening the DRS. Is he going to make a move for the lead? He is indeed, as Drogon just leaving space on the inside there, letting Lufus through, and Lufus now inherits the race lead. Sorry, I have got the lap data. Apologies, Sumo. I'm not a professional commentator like yourself. So Joey B sitting 9/10 behind Drogon, as the top two exchange places at the very beginning of lap 5 here. And there's a massive 3.9 second gap to Robsu here, as the top four have pulled away nicely and currently in a nice league of their own up front. James Gardner and LB Racing in the Ferraris will desperately be wanting to move up the field. Once these two got paired together, I had them down as my constructors' favourites for this season, but definitely a lot of work to be done here for the Ferraris as it stands. Nemo is the third driver to pick up the time limit penalty, and Runes getting a move done on Joey B, as actually Lufus and Drogon do battle at the front here, side by side through turns 1 and 2, and just slowly filing back into order was Drogon. And Drogon does sit behind Lufus. None of these front runners have got a track limits penalty just yet. Not so sure about warnings, but we're not going to look for warnings for now. Josh just had a very poor start, Ghost. Not too sure as to why he's still back. Oh, we do have an incident actually going on here. There's Josh and I believe it might have been Josh and the Aston maybe just having to come in together, and yeah, Josh just had a very poor start at the beginning of the race, and just has never recovered. He's just been falling back ever since, and Drogon, more importantly at the front, is our first driver out of this podium running train to pick up oh no, Drogon has dropped it, maybe just in frustration at that track limits penalty. But now Runes inherits second position, and Joey B up to third position, as now the two Mercedes inherit a P1 and P2. It's a perfect start to the season so far for the Silver Arrows outfit from Brackley. They will be very happy with how this is going thus far. We do have a slight train going on back here, as now pretty much almost half the field has picked up track limit penalties, and it's been a disastrous lap for the Kicks Albers, both their drivers picking up track limit penalties. So the gap slowly coming down to Drogon, but Drogon is just maybe he's just shredded his tyres. He's out of DRS to Joey B, and now could even but now even Joey B is pulling away from Drogon, and perhaps Runes and Joey B can work together here to maybe consolidate a podium. Drogon not pushing for the DRS, and maybe he's getting ready to come into the pits. He is not. So Joey B will be opening his rear wing. He does, and maybe Drogon is actually eating his ERS down the pit straight there, and actually closed the gap on Joey B going down the pit straight. Now Drogon's error has kind of inherited a very comfortable cushion for Lufus out in the lead in the Mercedes. He is running very nicely and extending the gap to his teammate Runes just behind, as Drogon is now comfortably back in the gap for DRS behind Joey B. Robsu sits 4 seconds behind his teammate Drogon. Then we've got Stanley in 6th, James Gardner in 7th, then we've got LB Racing, our 2-time Tier 3 champion, down in 8th, and perhaps should be those hard tyres should be coming into their element pretty much around this point. So it will be time for the Ferraris to progress. LB Racing running very wide, but I imagine he did ease off the accelerator pedal sufficiently enough not to get a warning there. And Ralphie has Nemo behind. I keep thinking of Finding Nemo when I see that Golf livery on that Williams. Finding Nemo is down in 10th position. As it stands, everybody will be scoring points, as Tia is the first driver to blink, and well, not the first actually. I think he's the second driver. I think I did see Josh the guy come into the pits earlier. So Tia bolts on a set of the hard tyres. It would be a big ask to get them to the end from here. I'm sure it is doable. I'm not. I clearly am not in tune with tyre wear around here. But Lufus's gap sticking at 3 seconds out the front. Joey B just once again struggling to just stay behind the car in front, and Runes is now the car in front, but he is within a second. But he's going to need a very good sector 3 here to close up the gap to Runes. Runes, I think, is just eaten away a bit of the gap here, but Joey B does look very comfortable going through this fast section, as we do have 2 quick penalties for Stanley and James Gardner there, as they are very close on track. And then when you follow the car in front and they make a mistake, you get suckered into it very easily. As I believe there is a not sure who that was at the back there, triggering the yellow flags. It might have been Legends in the Racing Bull, but already we only have 4 cars out of our 15 without track limits penalties on lap 10 of 29 at this Qatari Grand Prix. So Losail is famous for MotoGP racing until COVID happened, and then F1 decided they wanted to get involved as they was looking for tracks to race at. And they've never looked back since, and signed an eye-watering 10-year contract to race here. And unfortunately, as in reality, I've yet to see any value for any kind of racing at this circuit. The game's different. The game is very enjoyable to race at online, but in reality, it's a different kettle of fish. So we have a nice train here of 4 cars. Robsu leads the way with Stanley in 6th, James Gardner in 7th, and LB Racing in 8th. LB and James Gardner just teaming up for this season as well. Bacon Bear picks up another track limit penalty as the 2 Ferraris, are they? Wonder if they're in a party together, and just wondering if they're going to maybe have a few instructions going on here. Joey B is down in 4th and already fallen quite a way away behind Drogon. Perhaps Joe is going to think about a earlier pit stop, maybe to get the undercut. Legends, the next driver to pick up a track limit penalty. We'll look at track limits later on when it becomes a bit more crucial. But Lufus out in front in the Mercedes, just increasing that gap by a good 7/10 since we last rode on board with him. Doing a very nice professional job in the Mercedes. So Drogon, who picked up the track limits penalty and had the half spin out of the last corner, has seemed to cleared his demons, and is now slowly working on the case of closing in onto the back of Runes, and maybe challenging Lufus again for the lead, as Drogon is all over the back of Runes just ahead of him. And now we're going to be getting into pit stop territory, as actually Runes jumps into the pits, and so does Joey B. Stop saying in the Mercedes. Oh, my Mercedes from Friday night dinner. I say that to my sister whenever I see her, because she drives the Mercedes. And now LB Racing is taking on his teammate, actually. And there was a bit of contact between the 2 Ferraris there. I wonder if James Gardner was aware that his teammate was going to come through there, as the 2, that was very much like Ferrari in real life. Just a bit disorganized there, but they are through and unscathed without any damage or anything like that. So now LB Racing will start turning up the heat on those hard tyres. As you can see, Robsu ahead on those medium tyres, struggling. The rears kicking out very aggressively just there. And once again, you can see it's just the rears are gone. Yes, LB said James will be champion this season, and yes, so it proceeds to nearly take him out, does LB. I wouldn't trust LB in his mind games. So the 2 Ferraris are hounding the Kick Sauber ahead, but I would fully expect the Kick Sauber of Robsu to potentially pit this lap. Yes, Robsu is in, and now both Ferraris stay out and pound it down the pit straight here, and they both inherit 2nd and 3rd, as they have yet to stop. So as Drogon is yet to stop as well, so it's definitely folding into a one-stop race, this Grand Prix, and a safety car in a few laps would be perfect for the 2 Ferrari runners. as it stands. They have got a lovely 9.5-second gap to Lufus, but Lufus on the fresh, hard tyres now will eat away at that gap at a considerable amount. So it's 9.2 seconds at the moment. I can see it's already come down by half a second within a sector. Joey B in 7th, just minding his business, just trying not to get a track limits penalty. That is he is good at that, Joe. He doesn't often get track limits penalties when it matters, but he's stuck behind the Aston Martin of MS at the moment, who will be costing him chunks of time. As you can see, he was fighting Runes for position earlier, but Runes has gone up the road in the Mercedes now. Yeah, he is gone, and Joey B is really getting hurt behind this Aston Martin. As we have said many times, we'd just like to see Joey be a bit ruthless and trying to get overtakes done. Is this one of those ruthless times Joe is going to make the most of? He does actually sweep round the outside of the Aston Martin, and MS does run into the back of Joe, but does nothing to Joe. MS is missing a front end plate, and Joe does have DRS, so he is bolting it down the pit straight now, and I don't think MS will be a problem again in this Grand Prix for Joey B. LB Racing and James Gardner leading the way. So in a lap, the gap has dropped down from 8.9 seconds to 6.7 seconds. So roughly 2-second advantage at the moment on these hard tyres for Lufus. Running in P3 at the moment. Runes is in P4 and has a nice gap of 3 seconds to Drogon behind. So Joey B, we do have yellow flags. Not too sure what that is for, but James Gardner does get a... Stop the count for my predictions. I can't remember my predictions already. It must be good. It must be good. Although I had no idea about Lufus at this time, so already my season predictions are gone. So maybe I need to think about the races ahead. Yeah, if we can just call the red flag and stop the session for the rest of the night, that would be beautiful. No, none of us did. That's good. If you guys didn't know, then that is also very good for me too. So we will start flicking up penalties, shall we? We've seen the tyres. Now let's have a look at the penalties for the race. So Joey B is 3.1 seconds behind Drogon at the moment, and he will need to be within 3 seconds. My predictions, massively overrating Ghost. Yeah, so Ghost has a lot of pressure this season to actually deliver, otherwise we're going to have a falling out. James Gardner is in P2 with 6 seconds, but the front two still need to pit. So yeah, I know I did underestimate how washed you are. I remember having a conversation with you, Ghost, about how washed we both was. James Gardner bolts into the pits to throw on a set of what I can only assume is the medium tyres. Down the pit lane comes James Gardner into his pit box, and it is the medium tyres. So Joey B needs to find a bit of pace here, otherwise he's not going to make the most of this track limits penalty to get himself on the podium, as LB Racing will surely box in the next lap or two. And you can see the gap to Lufus behind now, 2.5 seconds, and 5 seconds between Lufus and Runes. The gap is just ever increasing to out front Drogon. Other than this little misdemeanor earlier on, is actually having a very solid race in the Kicksauber. Try not to put any commentators curses on any of these drivers. Joey B is in 5th. Stanley is having a very respectable opening race as well in P6. 6 seconds worth of time penalties, and I'm sure he would have just picked up a track limits warning there, going through that right-hander. So needs to find 2/10 on Robsu behind to keep P6 at the moment. Robsu is having a very so-so race. He sits bang in the midfield. As even more having a so-so race is James Gardner in the Ferrari. So LB Racing is in the pits. We will see how he's getting on. LB Racing out on the medium tyres. How will he compare to his teammate? It's a very long pit lane around here, and it's really well. It's not the length really; it's just how slow you go. As James Gardner swoops around the outside of LB Racing, and Tia is in P9 with 9 seconds worth of penalties. It wouldn't be a race for Tia, a proper APP race without a few time penalties. So Tia continuing traditions there. As you can see, LB ahead, weaving to try and get heat into these medium tyres. Josh the guy having a terrible opening race. He will not be happy down in P11. Finding Nemo down in 12th position. I call him Finding Nemo just because of that orange stripe on his Williams. A cracking livery that Williams is as well. So beautiful. Legend down in 13th with 9 seconds worth of penalties. And we've got MS in the Aston Martin. And then we have got Bacon Bear, unfortunately, just some way off at the back of the field. Yeah, I'm not too sure whether Josh has got his setup incorrect, or I don't really even know what happened to him at the start. Like he qualified 3rd, and before we knew it, he was like outside the top 10 within the first corner. And I don't think it was because of an incident or anything like that. Whether the start just caught him out. Oh yeah, Bacon's car is beautiful. I love the pink racing ball. The Golf livery on the Williams and the pink racing balls are the two best liveries the game has thrown on so far for people to drive in out of the official teams. I do love that livery quite a lot. So Lufis out in the lead, 6.5 seconds ahead of Runes now, his Runes' 3 second time penalty is going to be very irrelevant anyway. Drogon is slowly catching up to Runes just ahead, and Drogon will be hunting down a P2 here. Oh, Josh, and he dropped it off the line. Yeah, okay, then I must have missed that in the background. But yeah, Josh just since then has just shown nothing of the sort of any kind of race pace. As Drogon going wheel to wheel with Runes side by side through turns 1 and 2. This is great stuff here. As Drogon calls it a day on that battle, and now Runes just pushing ahead, and they're both running low on the RS, but the advantage is in Drogon's court, but he does get 3 seconds worth of track limits penalties there, taking him up to 6 seconds, and all of a sudden, Joey B, if he can stay within 6 seconds, will find himself on the podium. And I know I predicted that. So, Joey B, you've got it all to do. Maybe Runes can seize the initiative here and battle with Drogon to get him off the podium. As the last time Drogon got a track limits penalty, he had a half spin, and I'm sure that was probably being flustered or being under some sort of some sort of frustration that he had, just trying to forget that moment. As now Joey B is actually closing the gap to Drogon ahead. Maybe Drogon is taken a bit too much life out of those tyres. We shall see. Or maybe that 6 second penalty is just the inspiration Joey B needs to push on that little bit harder. So we have 3 drivers left without any kind of track limits penalties. Lufus out in the lead, Joey B in 4th position, and LB Racing in 7th position. At the moment, Joey B will be inheriting 3rd on the podium, and LB Racing will just jump ahead of LB Racing's on for LB Racing is on for P5 if I've understood that correctly. Yeah, LB Racing is on for P5 at the moment. It's just got to keep pushing, and that's what LB Racing does. It will have a so-so race and be very quiet. And now Stanley with 9 seconds. So yes, LB Racing will definitely be in P5 as it stands at the moment. It is a great battle for P14 here at the back. Sorry, I did miss it, as Bacon Bear and Legends, both in the Visa Cash App cars at the back. Bacon Bear opting for the pink livery to make it easy to tell the difference, as Legend goes up into P14 in turn 1. Drogon is side by side with Runes here going into turn 1, and this is exactly what Joey B will want to see ahead if these two continue battling as they are side by side, which they are. Runes does not want to give up that P2 even with Drogon's extra 3 seconds worth of penalties. He is not letting him creep ahead. Maybe Runes is concerned if Drogon does get ahead, he'll have the outright pace to pull clear of that 3 second time penalty gap he has got. It was a great defense by Runes, battling hard to keep the kick Sauber behind, and the happiest driver on the field out of all of them will be Joey B. Just watching them battle. He does not want that dirty air, says Denko, and that is absolutely correct. Dirty air does really hurt you around here. So Bacon Bear and MS on 18 seconds worth of penalties, then Tier and Legend on 12 seconds worth of penalties, and on 9 seconds we do have Stanley, and then on 6 seconds we do have Drogon, James Gardner and Josh the Guy, and then 3 seconds is Nemo, Ralphie, Robsu and Runes, and then as I said, the 3 drivers without track limits penalties. Joey B has dropped outside the 6 seconds now. That is required to, in fact, Joey B to get on the podium, I believe. Oh no, maybe they're just, maybe still within it. No, I don't. I think just. But it's going to be very hard for Joey B now to finish on the podium. If Runes can get past Drogon, then that will help his case for a podium. But as it stands now, I think it could be podium wishes over for Joey B. Lufus, 10.5 seconds out in front, just having a very uneventful race. This is, we've seen it in Formula One in reality plenty of times. We've seen it with Verstappen, we've seen it with Hamilton, we've seen it with Vettel. All in their dominant eras, how they can get into a lead of a race and just disappear. And that is what Lufus has done here in his leading Mercedes. So the closest battle on the grid at the moment is LB Racing on the back of Robsu, but LB doesn't really need to do anything. At the moment, he is comfortably going to be in P5, as he is actually looking to close up and overtake Robsu, which he does. Can Robsu hang it around the outside? No. LB's medium tyres perhaps working to his advantage, and maybe just pushing Robsu a bit off the track there, but I think LB had every right to be there on the track. Yeah, Legends is on for P13. as it stands, he does have a 6-second advantage on MS due to time penalties. So, yes, we will keep an eye on that gap as well, as the gap is currently working in Legend's favour as well. He's closing the gap to the Aston Martin driver ahead. Josh the guy just completely average. It's a hideous race for the Red Bull, as his teammate Joey B actually is in fourth, and he does have a 3-second time penalty, so that is pretty much slam dunk, game over for Joey B for a podium. But I don't think his P3 or P4 even will be under threat unless LB Racing can actually turn the screw on, in the last few laps here. We have I think that's 6 racing laps left to go around this Qatari circuit, and LB Racing taking a very interesting line to try and spook Robsu there. Side by side is the Kick Sauber and the Ferrari. Both have Ferrari engines under the engine cover there, and the Kick Sauber leading the way on Ferrari power here. Both Kick Saubers are actually ahead of both the Ferraris. Also, Haas do have a Ferrari engine, but there is no Haas cars on the grid tonight. LB Racing picks up a penalty, and pressure is starting to tell on LB here. It might not even be pressure; it could just be pure frustration being stuck behind Robsu. That move there, because that was a very unorthodox place to commit to an overtake, and LB has paid the price for a track limits penalty, but still he is comfortably on course to finish P5. So Lufus is the only driver now on the grid without a track limits penalty, and it won't change things in the slightest as it stands. But as it does stand at the moment, Runes will be on for P2 if he can stay behind Drogon. He's got a 1.4 second gap to Drogon, so as long as he doesn't lose 1.6 seconds, he will be fine for P2. See, Ghost just sees things that I don't. The straight line speed by Robsu, and we called him the Robsu rocket ship for a reason. Even in tier 2, he just runs ridiculous. Robsu is probably running 0-0 wings around here, knowing him. He does not believe in any kind of wing degrees or anything. He just skinny wings everywhere he goes. He does not care. And Robsu will probably have 0-0 wings come Monaco later this season. So James Gardner is behind Robsu, and James Gardner will need to get this overtake completed on Robsu to get 7th position, as they both have the same amount of time penalties. Ralphie is the next car back, and he is running in no man's land, especially when the results do come in. He's going to be kind of in the middle of nowhere, as Tia has had a moment and has Josh the guy on the back of him, and Josh the guy is through. I believe Tia, Josh and Joey B are sat in a party. I could be wrong, but Tia didn't seem to fight that too hard. So Josh is up to 11th and looking like his finishing position. So the real battle to keep an eye on now is if Runes can stay within the 3 seconds of Drogon ahead to snatch P2. And Drogon is pulling away ever so slightly. The gap was 1.5 seconds when we was last keeping track of this battle. It's now 2.2 seconds. So this is going to what decides our podium order potentially. Lufus will almost definitely be anyway, P1. But it's still the second and third steps on the podium which need to be decided in these last remaining few laps of this Qatari Grand Prix. 3 racing laps to go, or 2.5 if you want to be pedantic, as Lufus is just having a nice relaxed Sunday drive. So yes, this will be the battle we keep an eye on. We also will keep an eye on James Gardner James Gardner has 3 seconds. He has 9 seconds on Robsu. So this is the closest battle for position on track as it stands. And Legends has got ahead of MS. I'm guessing MS has made a pit stop somewhere or a mistake. But it's a very good debut for Legend, who has been at the back but will hoover up some very, very valuable points. Bacon Bear on 20 seconds worth of track limits penalties. So Drogon doing everything in his power to extend the gap to Runes behind him, but the gap is hovering at 2.3 seconds at the moment. We get a lovely helicopter camera shot around the circuit. It's nice camera angles at this circuit, with it being a nice open circuit in the desert. We do get some very spectacular views on the Helicam around here, and even the television cameras. Now Lufus joins the penalty club on lap 28 of 29. To be honest, that is one of the most irrelevant time penalties you'll see in this league race anyway. I don't think it's going to change his finishing position or add any sweat to his final lap, which is about to start. He's just coming around the last corner is Lufus, and across the line he goes, as Runes just needs to stay, Runes just doesn't need to lose half a second on this last lap now, as Drogon eating away at his ERS, but Runes currently had more ERS in the bank. So Lufus, the better Greek driver, is winning, says Denko. So could this be a Greek domination in APP in Tier 3 and Tier 2 this season? The very start of season 19, we will ride on board with Lufus as he closes out this Grand Prix. Jammy Dodger in the chat. Let's see your pace in the chat. Yeah, Lufus is Greek. He is Denko's karting teammate in real life. Runes picks up a time. Oh no, Runes has bottled P2 on this last lap. He has got a 3-second time limit penalty, and that is pretty much it. So across the line comes Lufus in the Mercedes, crosses the line, takes his first win in APP on his debut race. A sensational performance. Drogon's got 3 seconds, but Runes sits. Runes. It was all irrelevant. I missed Drogon's last penalty, but it doesn't matter. Drogon comes home in P2. Runes comes home in P3. Then Joey B coming home in P4. Stanley P5, but Stanley's going to drop like a fly here, as LB Racing could potentially take P5 off him, and he does. Robsu, okay, Stanley doesn't drop like a fly. Stanley keeps P6. Robsu in P7. So we got Nemo coming across the line in P8, a very solid debut in Tier 3 for Nemo, but he's going to get pipped by Ralphie, and James Gardner up to 9th, and everyone is across the line. So Lufus on the podium alongside Runes, but Runes should be Drogon. Drogon did leave the session. Bacon Bear showing their displeasure at this track. So the game, obviously Lufus was the winner. The fastest lap went to Tyr in the McLaren. The game gave LB Racing driver of the day, but no, apparently LB Racing got the most overtakes. But anyway, Lufus came in first position, Runes in second, Joey B in third. Actually, don't forget Drogon came in P2. P5 was LB, P6 was Stanley, P7 was Robsu, P8 was Ralphie, P9 was Nemo, P10 was James Gardner, P11 was Josh the Guy, P12 was Tia, Legends, MS, and Bacon Bear round off the field. Drogon leaving the session earlier is actually just messed up the timing boards that little bit too much for me. Ooh, excuse me. So there we have it. That is our first race of season 19 completed, and our first race of 2026 completed here in APPF1. Let's just quickly go and browse over the calendar for the season. I'll just quickly run through what's happening for the rest of the week, and and then we'll pick a driver of the day. Let me just get the right channels up. Right, yes, so the season 19 calendar. So round 1 was Qatar, which we just completed. Then we've got Jeddah next week in Saudi Arabia for the Human Rights Grand Prix. And then Bahrain, round 3. And then Imola, round 4. And then we are going to the Netherlands reverse in round 5. That will be interesting and horrible to race on. Monaco is round 6 in this year's APP season. We normally save it for the last race of the last season on the game, but just to whilst people are interested in the game, we have bumped it forward. We only race at Monaco once a year, so it'd be very interesting to see who takes the crown on the streets of Monaco. Round 7, we are off to Texas in the United States of America. Round 8 is Canada, also known as the Track Limits Grand Prix, and Belgium is round 9, a spectacular driver and fan favourite. And then we end in Australia, also one of my favourite tracks to race on as well. I love a bit of Australia. So that is that. There is no standings really to run through. I can't be bothered to work out constructors, I'm afraid. But so, yes, for this week, Ghost has already dropped the podcast. Please do go and give that a listen to. I will listen to it tomorrow when I'm at work. And yes, that will get me through the morning. And then tomorrow night we have Tier 2 back in action. The ever competitive and most competitive tier in APP, I believe anyway, is back, and definitely worth giving a watch on Ghost's Twitch channel. Keep an eye on the commentator streams in the APP Discord. That will go up tomorrow. Friday, Tier 1 returns. Can Kylo Ren defend his Tier 1 title? And then on Sunday, we race in Elite, the creme de la creme of APPF1, and all those races are at Qatar. So last thing I have to say really for tonight is pick a driver of the day. I mean, it's first race, it's going to be a boring pick for me. I probably will pick Lufus, who won the race on his APP debut, but he won it in some style in the end. So Lufus will be my driver of the day. Kind of just had a quiet race, didn't have to check in on him too much. He just got the business done. So yes, a good race for Lufus. I don't like picking race winners as driver of the day, but such to his almost doing the whole race without a track limits penalty as well is good to see. Right, I think that is everything covered for this week. So thank you everybody for tuning in, listening, commenting. It's been great to have you on board, and it's been great to be back in the comms box for Tier 3. So I will catch you later this week on track if you are racing. If not, I will catch you again next week in Tier 3. Thank you very much for listening, and goodbye.